begin with, would you like to talk about this Uttarakhand Metro Rail Corporation and how you are contributing to the projects of Uttarakhand Metro?
Is a hilly state and very small areas are plain. There are mainly two areas. One is Dehradun side, other is Udham Srinagar side. So right now we are focusing on this Dehradun Valley side, and we started with the concept of metro light initially for all the city of Dehradun as well as Hardwar and Rishikesh, and we wanted to connect all these three. So our master plan is having around 100-kilometer metro light in this region, connecting Dehradun, Hardwar, Rishikesh. But because project is still not sanctioned by the central government, so in the meantime we have worked on some alternatives also and some other projects also. So we are working on ropeway projects also and PRT projects also.
I want to ask you about some innovations. So there's lot many innovations is happening in technology. So what would you like to say about it? It can also accelerate India's growth and give a space in the global market. So innovation in technology. What would you like to say about it?
See, metro has been in India for almost now 20 years. There have been a lot of changes and a lot of new technology like CBTC, driverless, even Delhi Metro has gone for driverless metros. But besides metro, there are other technologies also which are new in the world and which are very useful for smaller cities. And one of these technology is personalized rapid transit PRT, which we locally call pod taxi. So that technology is basically a totally new technology which is there in the world, but not in many cities. But this will be very useful for smaller cities where roads are narrow, because the civil structures are very light in this PRT. So we are trying this concept in the city of Hardwar, about 20 kilometers we are trying.
As the as the name theme suggests of the RMT Conclave, which is showcase new technology and innovation for railway and metro projects in India. So, what type of innovations, in your opinion, India must have on priority basis? So, we can have so many innovations, but what is our priority at the time?
See, I will talk about the urban transport sector only. The innovations are in, we have to do in new technologies and also go for more and more digitization. That is what is required. Right now, the problem with the commuters is that they have to buy a ticket for metro, then they have to buy another ticket for maybe a bus and another method of payment for taxi. So if we can have a common mobility card, which concept is already there, but somehow it has not been so popular so far, implemented so far. So we have to find that way. And in fact, now many transport systems which are having the pooling system through modern technology or app-based, the same concept can come in when we bring PRT, because PRT is having around capacity of 6% in one car. So affording full car by one person may not be that affordable. So if we can digitize all these systems, payment methods, and maybe some app-based pooling, so people can pool in and use the same car by, it can be used by 4, 5, or 6 persons. So that will be more economical. So and then innovations in your signaling systems. See, we have to depend upon the original manufacturer who has supplied the signaling system, and unless you have a huge network like Delhi Metro, you can probably have in-house maintenance system. But for a smaller city where you will have 20, 30 kilometers, 40 kilometers of metro, that may not be economical viable. And you have to always be in the clutches of the original manufacturers. So open platform signaling systems are also nowadays being popular, and we should use more and more those new systems so that it is not vendor specific, but it can be maintained by some other person also, or even extensions to the metro can be by some other vendors also.
Yeah, so I would also like to talk about Metro Light or Metro New. First of all, what is the current status and what challenges are you facing, in implementing this or get it operational? And is there any procurement problems or what are the challenges are there? And when can we see the Metro Light or the Uttarakhand Metro running?
See, history of urban transport in our country started with Calcutta Metro. Then Delhi Metro was the second one, and it has propagated in many cities. More than around 20 cities are having either the operational or under construction metros. But the biggest challenge is, or biggest feeling is that the original projections of the ridership have not been achieved. Maybe to some extent in Delhi they have been achieved, but rest of the cities we have not achieved. And that is the great concern which at the ministry level or at the government level, there is a feeling that somehow ridership is not being popular. It's a fact that ridership has not been to that extent, but there are some problems also. That's something. There are some problems also. If you expect that by making one line or covering a 10-20% part of the city, you can have ridership, it is not possible. Unless you have end-to-end connectivity, cover entire city, then only people start coming. And there is a live example of Delhi Metro. When phase 1 was started, ridership was very low. After phase 2, it increased to some extent, but after phase 3, when almost entire Delhi was covered, ridership increased exponentially. And there were a lot of, in fact, there was a rumor that now metro has become so crowded that it is difficult for elderly people and women to commute, and that is why then this concept of separate metro coach for women came. So you have to provide connectivity in the entire city, and also that problem of end mile connectivity or last mile connectivity, that is also reducing the targeted ridership. That problem is in Delhi also, and that last mile connectivity is being provided by unorganized sector like e-rickshaws and all. So if we can have a system where all these transport systems are under one authority, like in London you have one authority, you have in Singapore land transport authority, and over the years, I mean, land transport authority may be around more than 20 years old. Now there is a system that the same authority controls metro, buses, taxi, every urban transport is under them. So they provide the licenses to taxis or to buses in such a way that all these components of the urban transport, they do not compete with each other, rather they complement each other. So it is convenient for public, complement each other. They complement each other. So that is how people, once you board the metro, with the same card you get down and get a taxi, and again your payment will be rated from the same card. So that concept, if comes in our cities, probably we'll have achieved that, because we have a lot of potential about all these urban transports. Regarding this Metro Light and Metro New, I would like to say that these two are totally new technologies. And see, after Calcutta Metro, which I think came in around 1972 or so, about 25 years later, we could have metro in Delhi.
So, okay, there are projects like Metro Light and Metro New, and then conventional Metro Light. But I want to ask you that what is the actual need of Uttarakhand? Whether it is the conventional metro like DMRC, or is it Metro Light or Metro New? Uh, what is the actual need?
Dehradun, of course, it is a capital city, but population-wise, not that big city. So conventional metro is definitely not required, because our assessment is that the PHPDT or the maximum traffic in 1 hour in one direction in Dehradun will not be more than 6-7,000 per hour, even after 30 years. So having full-fledged metro is not required and is not justified that way. That is why the concept of light metro came. The light metro capacity is less, but it is still around 10,000, 12,000 it can carry. Cost was less. But that somehow could not make any breakthrough. So then we shifted to Metro Neo. This Metro Neo concept, first time it came in for Nasik city, and their DPR was made about 3 years back. So we adopted, we thought Metro Neo is cheaper, let us try this. But again, there are certain mindset against the new technology, so that is still under discussion, and ministry is not very clear about it, whether we should adopt new technology or we should continue with metros. And there are options in metro also. You see, we have also worked out in-house that instead of Metro Light or Metro Neo, we can have two-coach metro, with the similar stations as we have in Metro Light or Metro Neo, so that when we need, you can expand also, and at least the indigenization which has already taken place, that can be used.